Thank you for Patreon now for donating to the Patreon.
Hey guys, this is Vanity. Ezel back with another Card Fight Vanguard as on the Vanity Weekly Review. So if you guys enjoyed, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and donate to the Patreon. We'll start, shall we? So this time, on this week, we have some interesting reveals. The rumors that we're getting interesting reveals because once more I'm recording this early. But I do know for sure tomorrow, or the day this goes up, we are getting PBO. Not even going to bother talking about it. We are getting, it's either Thursday or tomorrow that we're getting PBO. And we are getting, I think, the Brand Gate ride line. So, all's better with the world. So let's go ahead and get this started, shall we? Because we've got a lot of reveals to cover. First up, we have a Grade 2 from Brand Gate, Suppression Robo Saw Rebel, Grade 2 Intercept 5k shield, 9k base, auto when it intercepts if there are 2 or more cards in order zones. This unit gets plus 10k shield until end of battle, includes the cards in your opponent's order zone as well. Now, I could be reading into things a bit much, so first off, cool, obviously that's meant to be used with things like Prison and current Brand Gate decks, but also the fact that it says opponent's order zone. Bushy wouldn't put that there for like the 50, well not even 50, like 25% chance you're playing against a Brand Gate deck, with the only deck minus Keter Sentry that has an order that can go into the order zone. So, I'm thinking that based off of what I've heard, that the freaking Glitter for Fire Regale is going to be a set order. Which means it's going to be a lot more useful. I might be wrong. I might be reading into things. Maybe I'm having a little bit too much optimism for me wanting a set order for every nation. But I will take any excuse to get a set order in every nation. So even if it's a vanilla set order, if it's a set order, is good with me. So, sorry, Rebel. Depending on what the Fire Regale actually does and how many set orders we get out of this set, I'm going to say it's a 2 of. If this set becomes a really good set order set, I'm going to say 3 of, because, like I said, 50-50 chance on seeing a set order for this. Then we have a bunch of cards for Shaman King, Conqueror of Demons Anna Koyoyama, Grade 2 Intercept 5k shield, 10k base, auto when placed on rearguard circle, counterblast 1, soul blast 1, such an effect to 1 Shiigami Goki and up to 1 Shiigami Zenki and call into rearguard circle. So, by being placed, counterblast 1, soul blast 1, get 2 rear guards. Cool. This thing on rear guard immediately sets you up for good plays because this makes 2 columns. It makes the column of Zenki and Goki. It makes its own column, and the Vanguard column has its own thing going on. So, yeah, all around this thing's really good. I don't see why not to run it out of 4 of, especially because a lot of cards require Anna as a card in the deck. So 4 of. Then we have Shiigami Zenki, Grade 1 boost, 5k shield, 8k base, continues rearguard circle. If you have a unit with Anna Koyoma in its card name, and you have a unit with Shiigami Goki in the same column as this unit gets plus 5k and plus 1 critical. Active on both players' turns. So this is a 13k base on both players' turns, which doesn't seem that bad, but it's a double crit. And you can do this right at Grade 2. I don't know if Bushy has learned or not, but from what I've seen of Roaming Prison Dragon and what I've used of Roaming Prison Dragon, giving something an extra crit that can be called at Grade 2 turn is not a smart idea. That is... No, it makes the deck really good, and we have a way to abuse it in this one now. And at the end of each player's turns, if you do not have a unit with Anna in its card name, this unit's retired. Okay, so they balance it out. If this thing dies, then, or just any Anna unit dies, it dies as well at the end of the turn, but that involves you killing the Anna unit to get rid of this. So, Zenki's pretty good for that 5k extra crit. Downside is you have to require an Anna unit and a Goki. And Shiigami Goki, Grade 1 boost, 5k shield, 8k base, can use rearguard circle. If you have a unit with Anna Koyomi in its card name and a Shiigami Zenki in the same column, this unit gets plus 10k power during both players' turns. So, in my personal opinion, I would say put this in the back row, because even though, yes, it would be harder to hit into if you put it in the front row, you want that extra crit. So this is a 18 plus 13, 31k column with double crit while your opponent's at Grade 1. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. And the same reason as the other one, if you don't have an Anna unit and its card name, at the end of each player's turn, it dies. So, protect this Anna with your life, but at the same time, numbers are going to be dangerous. So, yeah, it's really worth protecting it with your life. The only time it's not worth guarding is if their opponent has a deck that retires by effects anyways, and at that point they wouldn't be swinging at Anna. So, yeah, 4 of Goki, 4 of Zenki, 4 of this. Then we have Battle Siren Suzette, Grade 2 Intercept 5k shield and 10k base, auto rear. When it attacks a Vanguard, Soul Blast 1 until the battle, and this unit gets plus 2k power for each of your other rested units. So the most you can get in D is a 10k plus, because it says other units. So 20k swing, except my question is, considering this is supposed to be presumably used in Flagberg just based off of a aesthetic design. How? How are you going to use this in Flagberg based off of aesthetic design? Aesthetic design, because you would have to swing 5 times and Flagberg cannot swing more than 5 times. So, okay, sure. I mean, in V and Premium, yeah, this thing is really crazy, but we're not playing V or Premium, so the question is this card just meant to be here just to be here, or does it have some hidden use in Flagberg, or is it just not meant to be used in Flagberg at all, and yet it still took on the Oncoforce field that belongs to Flagberg? Either way, so that's an interesting card, and I give her 3 of. And then we have a ride line for Shaman King, the Choco Love ride line. I remember I was talking some shit about Choco Love before. Yeah, I kind of want to take back some of that shit. So, Black Jaguar Choco Love, grade 0 boost, 5k shield, 6k base. Auto road upon if you want second draw card. Then just special about standard starter. Then we have Jaguar Soul Choco Love, grade 1 boost, 5k shield, 8k base. Auto when it rides over Black Jaguar Choco Love. Search off into 1 high speed animal spirit, Mike the Jaguar, and call it to center back or rear guard circle and shuffle your deck. So, free center call. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Guy's an animal lover, and he has an afro, which makes me love him. And then he has the highest speed animal spirit, Mike the Jaguar. Grade 1 boost, 5k shield, 8k base. Auto, when this unit is put into your soul for the cost of oversoul. If you don't remember, those just send a unit with a specified name to soul. You may soul charge 1. If you soul charge a trigger unit, choose one of your vanguards that gets +5 for the turn. Basically, Pongo if Pongo was moved to soul instead of on place with the same column. So, interesting. Definitely has a good ability for Oversoul, especially because it's probably going to be the target for Oversoul, so I do give it a 4 of, and you get a free search out of it just by writing this. And then we have Shaft Choco Love, one of the better arts. A grade 2 intercept 5k shield tank. Everybody's like, not even joking, that is a good art. Like, we got the nice yellow, we got the claw, we got just everything on here, and like the text feels moved down. It's like more focused on the art. It's amazing. Anyways, auto Vanguard Circle. When this unit attacks and it's boosted by a unit with Mike the Jaguar in its card name, I know we have another Mike the Jaguar, and then we have this one. Your opponent chooses 1 card from their hand and reveals it. You choose up to 1 card from your hand with the same grade, reveal it. And if you reveal, draw a card and it gets your... Oh, interesting. If you revealed, you draw a card and this unit loses 5 for the battle and continues to rear guard during your turn and this unit gets +2. So for me to understand this, you gotta reveal. If you don't reveal, you don't lose 5, but you don't get a draw. Then again, it's being boosted. It's probably gonna hit anyways. Okay, that's an interesting skill. It's fair. It's a possibility to get a draw. You don't have to reveal. So I find it weird, but I like its art, so I'm just gonna overlook it. Unfortunately, I cannot recommend a 4 of in the main deck, but I can definitely recommend a 1 of in the right deck because just it looks cool and its ability is actually good because possible free draw, and you get to see what's in your opponent's hand. And then we have the Wind That Blows Away Evil Choco Love. I don't know why, this one looks vastly different from the other Choco Loves in terms of design, and I still love that yellow claw. Grade 3 turns out Persona Red, 13k base. Oversoul, act Vanguard Circle, once per turn, put a Mike the Jaguar unit into your soul. Once more, I know we have a previous Mike the Jaguar, and we have this Mike the Jaguar, and we probably will get another Mike the Jaguar. And at the end of turn, your opponent cannot intercept, and all your opponent's grade 3 or greater units lose 5k power. Wow, Bushy future-proofed the shit out of this. They realized grade 4s may or may not have been a bad idea, or at least for meta, because from what I've seen of one type chart, grade 4s seem to have been doing really good. This straight up says not only F grade 3s, but in the chance that this deck became playable in a tournament, F grade 4s. So cool, and he nullifies intercepts. That's amazing. And then auto Vanguard Circle, at the end of the battle they attack, if this unit used Oversoul this turn, counterblast 2, this unit stands, and it loses 2 drives for the turn. So, restander. Just straight up restander. Cool. Interesting that it says loses 2 drives. Does that mean you don't get a drive check when he swings, unless you pumped him up with the drive? Because I've never, or at least to my memory, I've never seen a card that just blatantly says loses 2 drives. That doesn't have triple drive. I have seen a card that loses twin drive, but you still get a drive check out of it. I've seen a card that says -1 drive plenty of times. Does losing 2 drives mean you just don't get drive checks? I hope not, because I would love to use this thing. It's one of the only Shaman King cards I'm actually interested in, so yeah, Chocolove, interesting. We're getting so many restanders. I think that's just Bushy's failsafe. If we don't have any other ideas, make a restander. I swear to God, if one of the Cross Cray Epic cards does that, I'm gonna be so pissed off. Chocolove is good as it is for I like its skill. It's fun, interesting. Then we have Amazement Magician Dark States card to couple with our Dual Nation cards from last week, which I forgot to mention were Dark States cards. Grade 2 intercept 5k shield, 10k base, auto rear. When it attacks, you may soul charge 1. Free soul charge. It is a free, non-mandatory soul charge. Cool. You know, I will actually stick with this one. I will give it a 3 of or a 4 of, just because I can get a free soul charge. Hell, I would shove this in Barrow Magnus. Its skill is so simple, but it literally does probably better than most of the cards in there. God, I haven't played Barrow Magnus in so long. Whenever the last video that you guys saw Barrow Magnus go up on my channel was, deduct that by a week, and then that's the last time I played Barrow Magnus. 4 copies of Amazement Magician. Then we have Stealth Rogue of Fate Sumugi, grade 2 intercept 5k shield, 10k base. Auto, when it's placed on rearguard circle, Soul Boss won't choose a card from your drop zone with the glitter ability or a card with stealth in its card name, shove it to soul. Okay, so the first ability is, the second part of that ability, the shove a stealth unit to soul. No cards, to my knowledge, at this moment would benefit from that. I mean, maybe cross rides all the way back in premium, maybe very specific cards that are now coming to my mind, but not here indeed, unless they gave us a stealth person ride line, and technically they did in the sense that of the Pale Moon ride line that we just got called Tamayura, but I'm not exactly sure. If they give us a stealth ride line, that would be greatly appreciated, but I don't think they will. But the glitter ability one, yeah, no, you're meant to abuse that with Tamayura. Just, send Ramimi or Ramami into soul if it ends up in drop because you didn't intercept with it, or your opponent was smart enough to swing into it before you intercepted with it. Yeah, Sumugi is really good. 3 of in the deck, or at least I run it out 4 just to constantly be able to send them back into soul, because they are very important, as you know. And then we have Stealth Beast Folktale, grade 1 boost 5k shield, 8k base. Best looking art, genuinely. That's amazing. I see the moon in the background too. The Fire Festival. Oh my god, this thing's beautiful. Anyways, auto, when it's placed on rearguard circle, you may look at top 7. If you do reveal to 1 normally with glitter in its card name or stealth card from among them, put it to soul and reshuffle the remaining cards to the deck. Okay, why? Why is it now specifying stealth? There are 2 cards that specify stealth, and there are, to my memory, there are no, there are a lot of stealth support cards, but there are actively no stealth ride lines. Are these 2 for premium? Are they specifically waiting for something? Or is another ride line going to come out soon that is going to be very dangerous? Are they going to make another Dragon Empire ride line be the enemy of Season 3 so that they can make stealth a thing? Is Stealth Dragons going to become a thing? Or Stealth Rogues? If they are, then they are future-proofing like hell, or maybe I'm just reading into this a bit too much. But either way, get you a free soul, literally an actual free soul, get you a possible glitter target for Tamayura. All around, this thing's amazing, and I give it a 4 of in a glitter deck, regardless. Then we have more Shaman King cards. We have Mastery of Shungedo Ashukara Mikahisa. I said that completely wrong. Grade 2 intercept 5k shield, 10k base. Act rearguard circle once per turn. Soul Blast 1. Choose one of your Shaman units, and it gets +2 for the turn. And if your Vanguard perform Oversoul this turn, it gets +5 instead of +2. Cool. Easy Soul Blast and +5 to a unit. Not that hard, because all the ride lines in Shaman King have a way to search out Oversoul, so yeah, or at least to my memory, they all have a way to search out Oversoul, so not really that hard to use it in, so 3 out of 4 of. Then we have Mountain God Shigakaraki, grade 1 boost, 5k shield, 8k base. Auto, once retired from rearguard by your opponent's card effect, Soul Boss 1, call it to rearguard circle. Easy skill. Soul Boss 1, call it to rear if they put it by an effect. So you think you can kill my rearguard and get away with it? Guess what? No, he's coming back for round 2. Easy. I give it a 2 of, kind of. I want to run this personally because that's just a waste of a Soul Blast, but it's, well, technically it's not, but at the same time, in my opinion, it is, so 2 up. I know why it could be good, but I'm not going to do it. And then we have Mountain God Imari, grade 1 boost, 5k shield, 8k base. Act rearguard circle once per turn if you have a unit with Shigaraki and its card name on your field, on your rearguard circle, counterblast 1, choose one of your units with Ashikara in its card name, and this unit's power becomes equal to the chosen unit's power until end of turn. So pick your main grade 3, and this thing gets power stacked onto it. Cool. Okay then. That is interesting, and now we know where this is supposed to go in the deck. It is very interesting that this relies on this, which I guess makes sense for its first skill, but its only skill, but not something I'm proud of calling combo cards, but I like the art of this one, I guess, so I'll give it a 3 of. And then that, by objection, means this has to be a 3 of. And then we have cards for PBO, because we all know PBO is getting revealed this week, regardless of what day it is. Witcher Forbidden Tomes, her month, grade 1 boost, 5k shield, 8k base, auto during your turn if it was retired from your rearguard circle by the ability of your Vanguard Blaster's card name, Soul Blast 2, retire one of your opponent's rearguards. So let me get this straight. You call this. You call the thing that counts as 2 units when it's being sacked, unless Bushy gives us a far better one when PBO is revealed. And you use PBD's skill. You sack this, you sack the thing that counts as 2. So cool, you sacked 3. You kill 2 of your opponent's rearguards. The Vanguard gets a crit in, I think it's 10k. And then you Soul Blast 2 more, and then you nuke a 3rd rearguard. I can see this being so good in so many scenarios, but I can see this being so not worth it in so many scenarios because it's Soul Blast 2. Depending on what especially because Mach has a Soul Blast 1, depending on what PBO does, I will give this a 4 of. For now, I will say in between 2 of and 3 of. If PBO has a way to get Soul or doesn't need Soul at all, I will give it a 3 of to 4 of. That would be my thing. But for now, I'm going to say 2 to 3 because I'm not so sure about PBO. So 2 to 3 or 3 to 4. Then we have Kind Light Dragon. Grade 3, 200% rate, 13k base. Auto rearguard circle. Once per turn when this unit stands by your card's ability, gets +5 for the turn. Cool, 18k swinger. Now, either this can be one of 2 things. Either this is just general support for Bastion because they're not obviously going to give it too many crazy supports, or the Kheios Sanctuary Ride Line is going to be able to restand units. One of the 2. It is one of the 2. I'm going to assume it's the first one. If the Kheios Sanctuary Ride Line restands units, I'm going to be slightly disappointed because I don't want another restander. But that's how it's going to be. So, not even going to run. Actually, no, not going to run this in Bastion because because you can just use Spire over this, and Spire would actually be a lot more useful. So, 3 of, I guess. 2 of, maybe not even 2 of, because it's, Spire is just better. It's just better. Yeah, none of this. Our next card is Stealth Dragon Silver Beat, grade 2, intercept 5k shield, 9k base. Auto, when it's placed on rearguard circle by your Vanguard's ability, gets +10 for the turn. Dragon Empire doesn't have that many cards that can superior call by abilities. Actually, I'm pretty much lying. They actually have a huge amount. You definitely can't use it in Nirvana unless you have some way to cheat it out. You can't use it in Battle of Figaro because they only call grade 1s and this is grade 2. But you can definitely use it in Tamariur if it ends up in Soul. And you can use it in, Eugene, because it can be called from deck. So yeah, needless to say, this card is pretty versatile all around. I think it works in a lot of Dragon Empire decks, so I will give it a Hunt 3 of in the Dragon Empire decks. It does work, so yeah. Then we have Rambling Sheer Dragon, grade 2, intercept 5k shield, 9k base. Auto, when it intercepts, if your opponent's Vanguard's grade 3 gets +10k shield. So this thing becomes the equivalent to a trigger. You know what, I will actually consider that really good, because you can call it out of Soul with Tamariur, do some multi-attack, gives Eugene a bit more defensive options, and I do admit sometimes I could use more defensive options with the Eugene, because I got a lot of killing units, but I don't have enough good units to replace them with, which could basically be one of these 2. So all around, Rambling Sheer is actually really good. That 10k intercept might be helpful, or technically 15k intercept would be helpful, but I'm not exactly sure. If I ran it, I would run it at 3. But that thing's art, though. It is so cool, but I feel like they wasted it on such a defensive skill. Either way, 3 of or 4 of if your deck really needs that defensive power. Then we have Flexible Power, Asakura Yo, grade 2, intercept 5k shield, 10k base, auto when it's placed on rearguard circle. If your Vanguard is either Wooden Sword Ryu, Foss the 8th, has one of those 2 in its card name, 6 plus 5k power till end of turn. Then if you have 3 or more cards in your damage zone, counterbalance 1 to draw 1. Okay, its name makes sense. Weirdly enough, it doesn't apply towards the Asakura Yo ride line, even though it literally has Asakura Yo in its name, and it is literally Asakura Yo, but, it's nice that its name implies that it's flexibility, because, it works with Ryu, it works with Foss the 8th. I wish it worked with some of the other ones, but it still works pretty well. You can get a 5k just by being placed, and it's a counterboss 1 to draw a card, so it's still pretty good. So, I would give it a 3 of in those decks, because I'm not so sure if those are good or not, but I feel like they might need it as a 3 of. Then we have thing that looks like a set order, but unfortunately it is not. Team Funbari Osen. I don't know what Shaman King is. Well, okay, I know what it is in anime. I don't know the basis behind it, but just by looking at it, in the naming, I'm gonna say these guys are a team called Fubari Osen. If I am remotely right, then I'm smart. Anyways, Blitz Order, you may only play this card if you have a Vanguard with Asakura Yo, Wooden Sword Ryu, or Faust the 8th in its card name. Choose one of your units, it gets plus 10 for the battle, and if you have one or more of each Asakura Yo, Wooden Sword Ryu, or Faust the 8th on the Vanguard or Rearguard circles, then discard 1 to draw 2. Really good Blitz Order, actually. I do like the fact that even though it requires, like, for its full effect to go off, it requires all 3 of them on the board, I find it really nice that it like gives a nice aesthetic to it, and I really hope we get more combination cards along with it, because we just got this boy, so I'm assuming we're going to get one of each of them, and it can work with all 3 of them, regardless if you put the other 2 in or not. So around, I really like this order. I think it's a good concept. I like how it looks. I really wish it was a set order though, but it's good enough for me. I would give it a 2/3 of in a Sakura Yo, Wooden Sword Ryu, or Faust the 8th, or all 3 together deck. And on to our main reveals, the Kheios and the Phantom Blaster Overload reveals. So first up we have our starter and one with Profound Mercy. Kheios, grade 0 boost, 5k shield, it's 6k base, auto is roll upon your second draw card. Then just about its standard starter. Now that I look at them closer, I don't like the art of Kheios as much, especially because it's a Dark States ride line. But what I've learned from this pattern is that whatever whatever Glitter Nation was revealed, apparently the ride line is going to be revealed next. So we have Kheios, then we have In Calm Streets Kheios, grade 1 boost, 5k shield, 8k base, best looking one out of them. Auto was wrote upon by Quagmires of Soulless Kheios, reveal the top 2, pile normies from them to soul, and if you do, put the rest on the bottom of the deck in any order. So what ride line is this supposed to be again? This is supposed to be Genesis, right? Genesis feels like the right word to say, because it's definitely not Oracle Think Tank, but its ability feels fine. The downside is, like, you're either losing all the units in the top 2 or they're going to bottom, but it's not like Hyper Soul Charge, like Barrow Magnus or I'm trying to think of what the other one is. No, just straight up Barrow Magnus, but it seems fine. So that's our ride line, grade 1. Ride line grade 2 is Quagmire's Soulless Kheios. Grade 2 intercept 5k shield, 10k base. Auto was wrote upon by Approaching Fangs Kheios. Soul Charge 1 that if the Soul Charge unit was a trigger unit, draw a card, and if it was a normal unit, jump to 1 card from your soul and call it to rearguard circle. Okay, I actually like that pretty much, because it gets you a soul, and either if it's a trigger, you get a plus off it, and if it's not a trigger, you get to, or it's a normal unit, you call it from soul, so as long as it's not in order, you get something out of it. So I find that really interesting. Definitely a skill that I like. I like his background so much in his art, but I do not like himself. I wish I had a rearguard skill, but you do what you can do with it. And then our main grade 3 is Approaching Fangs Kheios. Grade 3 200% rank, 13k base. I have mixed emotions about this one. Active Vanguard Circle once per turn, card boss 1, discard a card from your hand, look at top 3, choose up to 1 card from among them, put it to hand, and choose up to 1 unit from among them, call it to rear, and put the rest in soul. So either Soul Charge 3, sorry, no, it's at least Soul Charge 2, because you have to add 1 to hand. So get something to hand, possibly get something on board, and send the rest to soul. And then Auto Van, when it attacks the Vanguard, if your soul has 8 or more cards with different card names, choose one of your rear guards and it gets plus 10 for the turn, and if your soul has 13 or more cards, different card names, choose all your rear guards instead. So when it swings, possibility of 10, and when it swings with 13 or more soul, everyone that is a rear guard gets plus 10. You know, that's actually really interesting. So we got another Dark Regulars ride line, except I'd argue this one is both like better and worse than Barrow Magnus in all respective ways. Like Barrow Magnus gets a multi-attack. This one gets a fuck ton more power. In my opinion, I kind of like Barrow Magnus aesthetic more, but I think I'd find this guy's skill really interesting. And also we can see in the background moon, so yeah, we know I'm a bit biased towards this thing, so I actually like its skill though. It's very cheap cost, it is not that hard to use, and you can still run a lot of Barrow Magnus support in it because they're almost interchangeable, so 4 of Kheios. And then our glitter card, which surprisingly Kheios doesn't use, is Cool-Headed Executor Mikani. Grade 3 200% rank, 30k base. Auto was placed on rearguard circle, counter boss 1, soul boss 1. Choose your opponent's rearguards in the same grade as this card, soul blaster for the cost, and retire it. Basically, if you soul blast a grade 3, kill a grade 3. You soul blast a grade 2, kill a grade 2, etc., etc. Glitter Kheios if your Vanguard is Kheios in its card name. Auto rear once per turn when your Vanguard attacks. If your soul has 8 or more cards with different card names, stand this unit. If you stood this unit, put this unit into the soul at the end of the turn. Okay, really nice that he stands himself for free and he can get you a free soul. My only thing is you're supposed to use it with this one and you're not going to get the most power out of it. I really wish it was, like, at the end of the battle it attacked. If your Vanguard is a Kheios, restand it, but it's not. But it's still good because it can still restand itself in the second attack. Will get power out of it, so I like Mikanani really well. I do think it's a good card, 4 of, and Kheios is amazing to hit at 13 soul, because if we can hit Barrow Magnus 15 soul in first grade 3 turn, we can definitely hit 13 soul in first grade 3 turn, because none of his support was ever name restricted. Then we have Skull Witch in the main, grade 2? I'm sorry, what? Nani? Grade 2, intercept 5k shield, 5k base, continues rearguard circle during your turn. If you have a Vanguard Blaster in its card name, it gets +5, so it's a 10k. And auto when it's placed on rearguard circle, if your Vanguard's clan is only Shadow Paladin. Damn it. That mean, so they're future-proof in this. Counterblast 1, put a card to soul, draw 2. Get you soul, get your 2 hand cards, and the only downside is it requires a Shadow Paladin Vanguard. But the thing is, that ability is not once per turn, and if it wasn't for that skill would not have a restriction on who you could use it with, which means you could use whatever the hell you want. And I'm not sure how choice restriction works, but I feel like you could use this with Luard, even though it says you can't use Luard in the main, because it applies to the V versions. I might be wrong, but they future-proofed this shit out of the main. They were prepared for this. So, worst case scenario, now we can no longer combo this with bullshit cards that come out later, but that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, draw 2 is still a really good skill, so I will give it not a 4 of, but I will give it a 3 of, just because Counterblast is kind of heavy. Then we have our last card for today, which is Phantom Blaster Overlord. Grade 3, 200 Persona at 13k base, continues Vanguard Circle. If your soul has a Phantom Blaster Dragon in it, it gets a crit. Okay, I literally called that. I called that ability yesterday, or not yesterday, but like a few days ago, when me and my friend were talking. Yeah, that skill is dumb. So anyways, yeah, we get an extra crit, and then when it attacks, retire 2 rearguard, choose a Blaster Dark from your soul, call it to rearguard circle, and if your opponent's Vanguards are greater than that, and this unit get +10. So, power is what I'm hearing from this. Okay then, you know, that's pretty good, so it's a 23k swing. And we got a few cards from Ragnarok, but I'm not going to go over all of them because I need to get this out fast. So, yeah, I'll probably do a separate video on Ragnarok. So if you guys enjoyed, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, don't forget to Patreon, don't forget to follow Twitch. And in the next one, hopefully we will see some Bastard Blade reveals. I'll see you on this one. Don't forget to stand up, your Vanguards.